All right. What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream from the Millennial Motivation Entrepreneur YouTube channel. First and foremost, before we get going, if you're new to the channel and going to be tuning in for the first time, we'd love to have you here, joining our awesome community of like-minded people. Definitely consider hitting that subscribe button down below and hitting that bell icon. That way you will be notified every time we go live or upload another video. And if you haven't already, we have a Discord group chat. It's totally free. Of course, I don't charge for anything associated with this channel. Not looking to make money off you guys or anything like that at all. That link's down in the description box. If you don't know what Discord is by now, it's a free app you can get for your phone, laptop, etc. And there's about 130 of us in there now. And we just chatted up about the stock market and any way to just get ahead and achieve financial freedom, because that's what we're all here for at the end of the day. And I don't know if you guys can hear that from outside. There is a dog that won't shut the hell up, so I apologize for that if you all can hear that at all. But anyways, just to the point, so we had a crazy day overall, more so a crazy morning than anything within the stock market overall. You can see overall we hit right around 33.90 early in the morning, and then we just completely tanked for about, what I'd say, a period of an hour or two before we finally found some support just below 33.40. I had just missed out on this, honestly. By the time I got back, I have a job, of course, like most of us. And by the time I got back into my work truck, we'd already kind of came back up. It was at like 33.55 by the time I got back in my truck. And I was just like, whoa, what the hell did I miss? Because before I got out and started doing my work, it was in like the 33.60s, if I recall, like 33.65. And then next thing I know, I saw the low of the day was 33.39 and a half. And I was just like, what the hell happened? Like, what did I miss? Because just nothing really indicated early on. I mean, it looked like it could be a down day for sure, just how everything's been kind of setting up lately. But I did not expect below 33.50, 33.55 at the most was kind of what I was thinking, just because when we look at our recent low, we found some good support right around that 33.55 number. But we just blew right through it. So that was definitely a little bit bearish in my opinion. I do think we'll probably go down a little bit further. I don't know if it'll be this week. We got super close to my target for the week. 3400 was where I thought the market would go at some point this week. I thought we were going to kind of close at 3400 or above, and who knows, we still might. We have all day tomorrow and whatnot. For all we know, they could gap it up 30, 40 points, and then next thing you know, we're at 34.10. It wouldn't surprise me one bit, but it's not really looking that way. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if tomorrow is also a red day, but we'll get into all that here in a little bit. Just to give you guys an update overall kind of on where I'm at. Those of you that have been tuning in for a few videos know that I just started back up again with actual cash, just trading the Micro E-mini S&P 500 only. And I put $800 in my account. I was available that was available to trade. I believe it was last Thursday, so about a week ago now, Thursday or Friday, one of the two. So we are up after fees and commissions, $121.34. Get this pulled up here, that way I can still see if you guys put anything there. If you have any questions or anything, definitely feel free just to let me know. That's why I keep that pulled up for you guys. That way I can answer any questions or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with how I'm doing so far. I'm up $121.34 after fees and commissions. And again, I'm literally trading just one micro S&P 500 contract at a time. I'm not holding anything right now. I haven't made a trade since yesterday. We can take a look at my history overall. So you can see my first trade was actually a little $10 loss. I never really short the market. I don't know why for my first trade. I tried to. The trade would have made money if I'd held it, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep it tight. And you can see I held it for only 10 minutes. I was like, I'm going to keep a pretty tight stop on this. I was like, if I go down 2 points, I'm just going to cut it loose and move on. But then later on that night, we went ahead and bought into the market at 33.75.50. Ended up selling it a little over an hour later for about a 6.25 point profit. So not too bad to get a win on the books. Then on the 14th, we bought in at 33.79.25, and then you can see that's where the market ended up, just over a point essentially going into the weekend. And then we went ahead and sold it Sunday evening. If you guys watched the previous stream for the Sunday stock talk, you guys were actually watching that whenever I closed that trade. Ended up making roughly 7.5 points, something like that on that trade. Again, nothing crazy, but a nice little trade there. Then we bought into the market again at 33.75. You can see we're actually down a little bit on that trade at the end of the day. We were down about 6 points roughly, and that trade was actually down pretty big at one point. If it's the trade I'm thinking of, I don't know for sure. It might have been this trade. It was down pretty. One of these trades here were down pretty big at one point. I forget which one. They were down roughly 20 points. But I always have faith whenever I'm going long, because long term the market always goes up. That's what I love about futures. It's not like options where it just has to work instantaneously. I'm not looking for any type of like quick little day trade. I mean, occasionally I will have a quick trade like this one right here, less than an hour, boom, in and out, 6-7 points, move on. But for the most part, I'm looking for setups that I think, you know what, I think the market's probably going to hit this at some point, and as long as I even get as long as it gets halfway there, I'm making decent profits moving on. You're never going to time the market, rarely. I mean, I actually did time the market pretty well on this trade we'll talk about in a second, but 99% of the time, guys, you're not going to time the market to a perfect T. Those of you who've been doing this for longer than 2 seconds probably can attest to that. But as long as you get in at a pretty good price, no matter if you're shorting, going long, whatever your strategy is, as long as you just have faith in the trade and know what you're doing, essentially, just hold it out and you'll make money. And that's what we did here. You can see it was about 5 points, nothing crazy, another like $25 of profit. And then this trade here, of course, we had 10 points, 10-point profit there, which was the target actually, was a 10-point profit. And yeah, I got out of that one a little early. It was yesterday. I got in the trade. You can see, no, I was not up at 2:29 a.m. when I went to bed overnight Sunday. I set a limit, and those of you that were in the Discord group chat know about that. I set that limit buy order at 33.7450. And the market literally fell to like 33.74. So I mean, couldn't have really timed it too much better. I guess hindsight's 2020. I could have got additional half a point, whatever. But really happy about that trade. I pretty much woke up, went to work, market open. I closed the position pretty quickly. Just took my 10 points, $50 profit, and moved on. So, and if you're wondering kind of what this means about $50, $54, $28, because what happens is if you hold the futures contract over the the maintenance requirement period, because when you're trading futures, you have the maintenance requirement and then the initial requirement, which is your which is what like the CME group sets for trading futures. For the S&P 500 to hold your position past 4 p.m. Eastern time, you must have roughly $730. I think it's like $727 to be exact. And what happens is at 4 p.m. it'll show this is what the settlement price is. That's because if you don't have that 727 or whatever for like collateral, it will force you to sell. And during trading hours, there's the actual, I think it's referred to as maintenance requirement, where between the hours of 9:30 a.m. Central, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time until 4 p.m. Eastern, any broker can pretty much determine, like I know NinjaTrader, it's like $50 or something crazy. A lot of smaller brokers will offer for like $50, $100, something like that. But every single broker across the board, guys, you need to keep this in mind, because no matter what broker you use, you will have to have the $727 if you plan on trading past market hours or holding a position past market hours, because if not, they will force you to sell it. And that's pretty much what this is here for. Like you can see, no fees or nothing, because my position didn't have to be closed or anything like that. So it's just pretty much saying here, it lines it up for you, where if in theory you had to close, I would have been up $8.25, something like that. In this one here, I would have been down. That's what the parentheses or whatever are here for. That's letting you know that's how much you'd be down. Like this one, like I said, we lost $10. If I had to sell here, hypothetically, I didn't. But if I did, I would have lost $28. it's showing I ended up making 54.75. Really, I didn't. What you would do is subtract 54.75 by 28.50, since that is what I was down. If that makes sense, that's what I was down at the close. So whenever I ended up selling after the quote-unquote new trading session opened up, it was up 54.75. I hope that makes sense. If not, definitely feel free to shoot questions, but I'm trying to like keep it as transparent and whatnot with you guys. So before fees and commissions, I'm up 135. You can see after fees and commissions. That's what I like about Tastyworks. They really break it down for you, where you can like see your fees. And fees includes your commission and all that. Like you can see here, it's just pretty much $1.37 per leg. So it's $2.74 round trip. And if you want to know more about Tastyworks and whatnot, I'm not like necessarily affiliated with them. I mean, there's a link down in the description box where you guys can like check out all their fees, commissions, all that. They just recently, if I remember right, went to like 0 fees, like most brokers are anymore, for stock market, like actual stocks, trading stocks. But as for the actual, and this isn't their actual trading platform, this is the internet version. They have an actual app that you can, or whatever you want to refer to it as, like an app. They have an app for your phone too, of course, and then there's something you can actually get, but mine has been acting up. I need to download like the new version or whatever. But if you're wondering about them or anything like that, there should be a link in the description box where you guys can check them out. Like I said, I'm not like affiliated with them or anything like that. I have a little affiliate code or whatever, but they're not like paying me or anything like that. So yeah, if you're interested in that, feel free to check it out. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with my trade so far. We had one bad trade right out of the gate, but after that, it's been, 4 positive trades in a row now. And again, it's all about keeping it big picture. And yeah, that's another thing. They'll like give you updates about like their community, the people running the company. They'll like give trade updates too. I don't use them or anything, but if that's something you're interested in, they have that too. But like I was saying, I like keeping everything big picture. Again, when you're playing with small money, you're going to get small rewards, small losses, that kind of thing. And the fact that I'm up 120, or let's just even say 135, because that's what it really is at the end of the day. It's $135 before your fees and commissions. When you make $135 before your commissions divided by $800, that's almost 17% pre-commissions and everything like that in 1 week. Because like I said, we just started doing this again about a week ago. And I was up $200 that last month I was trading too, way back in like September, October. So we made like an extra $200 that month. Again, when you're playing with small money, you're going to get small rewards. It's just, you want to keep it big picture. Like me personally, and I mean, even if we want to break it down from your actual quote-unquote bring home, if that's what you want to call it, divided by $800, that is still a 15.17% profit in 1 week. That's a really good return. I mean, just compound that every week and watch how quick your account grows. Do I expect to do this every week? No, absolutely not. I know that I'm going to get in trades from time to time where I'm going to have to hold them for a few days, maybe even a week before they profit. Hopefully not a week, usually a day or two at the most in most cases, like the trade I had earlier this week. But for the most part, I'm just keeping it big picture, guys, because like I said, long term, I plan on trading the actual E-mini. And if you're kind of scratching your head going, what are you talking about? So we have the micro E-mini S&P 500, but then we also have the E-mini S&P 500. So what's the difference, you're probably wondering. So the big difference is, just think of it as one is 10 times bigger than the other. Yes, they show the same price, they move the same, everything like that. But the micro E-mini is allowing people with less capital, newer traders, that kind of thing, to trade the futures, because the E-mini has gotten way more expensive than whenever it came out, like 10, 20, or I think it was more now, like 20 plus years ago. It's now $7,200 and something dollars, like almost $7,300 to place a trade on ES. If you're trying to do like an initial, like again, trading overnight, and then again, like I've said, There's brokers that between the hours of 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time will let you do it for like as little as $300, $400, $500. I don't suggest those personally. It's just not my kind of thing. If I don't have the money to trade it, I just don't need to be trading it. If I can't trade it 24/7, I don't need to be trading it, is my motto. And that's just kind of what we're working up to. MES, like we said, it's the same exact thing. It's just 1/10 the size. So that's just what you need to keep in mind if you're new to trading futures and whatnot. I definitely suggest, one, starting out paper trading, and then two, whenever you do start to use your own money, definitely start out with MES. And it's not even just for the S&P 500, guys. They also have MYM, which is the E-mini Dow, the micro E-mini Dow. This one only costs about $600 if I remember right to trade. Another one was it MNQ, is the micro E-mini Nasdaq. This one's a little more pricey if I remember right, like $800 or $900. Still not bad considering what the actual NQ is. That one's like 8,000 or something like that if I remember right. And then we also have, it's like Y2K or something like that. Was it M2K? Let me see. Yeah, you have your micro E-mini Russell 2000, which is also pretty cheap. Again, just like, I think that one is actually, I want to say it's really cheap, like $300 or $400. I don't remember the exact price, but I know it's pretty cheap also. So that's just a quick little crash course for those of you that are still fairly new to futures and just wondering what's the big difference between micro and E-mini. There's a big dollar difference, and the same thing applies with the profit loss. So again, every point equals $5. It moves in increments of 1/4 of a point. So every 1/4 of a point is $1.25 of profit or loss. Or with the E-mini, 1 point is $50. Every 1/4 of a point is $12.50. So again, just for anybody that's new, if you're not new to futures, you're probably wanting me to get on by now, which we are. But I just wanted to, again, I know there's a lot of new people tuning in and a lot of people brand new to the markets and whatnot, always looking to learn about just different ways of trading and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, again, just keeping it big picture, going back to that little discussion, if I'm up $121.34 after fees and commissions, imagine if I was trading the one that's 10 times bigger, that's $1,213.40, probably a little bit more because, again, fees and commission, well, whatever, either way, $1,200 essentially is what we would have been up in the last week. And I mean, if you can do that over a period of 52 weeks, it's pretty good money. Like I said, do I plan on actually literally doing this good like every trade, every week? No. There's going to be some weeks that I don't make anything. There's some weeks I'm going to make more. There's going to be weeks I might even be down. Like I said, you never know ultimately how the trade is going to work out. But as long as you just hold it, especially with going long, it's different kind of going short, at least in my opinion, my experiences, and I know other people's experiences too. With going short, I mean, we know the market goes up long term. I mean, anyone that disagrees is just flat out wrong. I mean, we can pull up the market right now, and if we just take a look at it, big picture, over a period of even just the last 3 years, we've come from right around 2,000 all the way up to almost 3,400. So, I mean, we're going short. There's a reason I don't go short. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I want it to play out in my favor fairly quickly if I ever go short or just scrap the trade, because I know long term the market's going to keep going up. I would never hold a short more than maybe a day or two, a couple days at the most, just because, again, that market's just going to slowly but surely always continue to go up, even when it wants to go down. I mean, look, you had a day like today where it literally had every opportunity to try to keep going down further and further. Obviously, we could be having a potential little bear flag forming. I don't think that's the case, or bear pennant, whatever you want to refer to. I don't even think it's a pennant. But you can pull out all the technical BS all you want. Fact of the matter is, the market always wants to go up long term. That's just a simple fact. That's why me personally, I pretty much do nothing but go long. I just try to find a really good dip in the market to buy. Which brings me to my next point of when exactly do I plan on making my next trade. But that's the whole thing, guys. It's just finding good little dips in the market, buy, hold for a little bit, sell it, and you'll continue to make money in the futures market. You don't have to be sitting here doing continuous scalps, quick day trades. I mean, yeah, it's cool here and there to have those quick little day trades to get a quick win to start the day, that kind of thing. Trust me, I mean, I super, super, super wish that I had seen this huge drop. Like I said, I got back and it was already back up to like 33.55. So I was kind of like, man, since that was a support, it's probably going to be a new resistance. So I was kind of watching and, of course, working at the same time, which makes it difficult. And then next thing I know, we're back below 33.55 again, right around 33.50. And then it started to build a support. And I was like, man, like I was super on edge. I was about to get in actually at 33.51. Of course, now I wish I did, but I didn't because then like I was like, man, just something about that 33.39 kind of shook me up a little bit because I was like, I'm really surprised that it came down that low. It's like I would not be surprised if we end up breaking it and even making a newer low on the day and having like some 2% down day or something crazy like that. And then I was going to get in at that point. But hindsight's 2020. What I'm looking for now is I've been keeping a pretty close eye on the 15-minute chart all day today. And I noticed that we're coming really, really, really close on the MACD. Actually, I think it might have just crossed right before the close, it looks like. So it looks like we could be getting a little bit of selling. What I would really like to see here at open, honestly, which I know it's probably not going to happen, but what I'd really like to see is for this thing to pull back a little bit. I want to see it bounce at or above 33.55. Again, I don't think it's going to sell. We'll see what happens here in a second now since the market just opened back up. But I would like to see it bounce at or above 33.55. Ideally, I want to see it bounce somewhere around that 33.60 to maybe even the 64.65 mark. So we'll kind of see what happens here. We're early on. The market's down about 2 points. Nothing crazy. That's mostly from what happened in the after hours trading. We closed the day right around like 33.71, 70, somewhere in that range. I forget exactly to a T. We can pull it up here and take a look. Get even closer. So we closed right around, where's 3 o'clock? 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. we pretty much closed right around 33.71, 70, somewhere in that range. So we're down just a few points. A lot of it, like I said, happened before the 5 p.m. open. But we'll kind of wait it out and just see what happens. But like I said, I've been using the 15-minute and 1 hour chart quite a bit. That's how I make most of my trades, honestly, is I bounce back and forth between mostly the 5-minute, 15, and the hour. Sometimes I'll also look at like the 30 and the 1 minute just to kind of get an overall big picture, just look at every aspect of a potential trade. But when it comes to actually making my trades, a lot of times I'll use my 15-minute and 1 hour one anymore. So like I said, I kind of like the fact that we're pulling back a little bit. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to pull it up some, but what I really want to see is for it, it'd be beautiful if it could literally come down, just barely touch 33.55, or even 50 if it wants to, I guess. But I'd really like to see it stay above 33.55 and then just show us some kind of confirmation that, okay, it's time to go. We're going to go higher. I'd probably hop in, and then my target sell would probably be somewhere around 33.75, just because that's where we're probably going to meet. Maybe even a little higher, 33.75, 33.76, somewhere in that range is where we're going to hit a pretty solid resistance. But don't get me wrong, 33.70 is going to be a pretty heavy resistance as well once it comes back above that, just because there's something, again, about just every 10 points, there always seems to be some sort of resistance in that area. So let me make sure our stream is doing okay. Let's see. So we got 4 of you tuning in. Looks like everything's doing good so far. We're all green. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, we'd love to have you here. Definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below, hitting that bell icon. That way you will be notified every time we go live or upload another video. So you might be wondering, like, well, why aren't you shorting? Like, I literally expected us to pull back going into the open. Like, why would I not short? again, it's knowing your boundaries, knowing your game at the end of the day. Like, a lot of times I know when the market's going to pull back, but there's something about every time, it's more so psychology than anything for me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just not good at shorting. Like, it's about knowing your game, knowing what you do best, and sticking with it. Why fix what's broken at the end of the day, right? If I can continue to profit like I've been doing, why try to go against that, right? So that's just why I don't short personally. Plus, I mean, I want the market to go up long term. It's good for the world, good for the U.S. overall, good for our economy and whatnot. Just for the market to go up and continue to go up. Obviously, you're not always just going to go straight up. That's just unrealistic. But long term, I want to, of course, see the market go up. So we shall see what happens. My 1 hour chart's pretty much telling me that it wouldn't be a bad idea to buy right now. But it's kind of conflicting. So that's why lately, a lot of today, I've been really focusing on that 15-minute chart, kind of waiting to see what it shows. It's almost, market's trying to push up here right now. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if they try to push it up a little bit. If it can get back above 30, that's another thing too. If it can get back above 33.70 and stay above that, then I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to going long if it looks like it's ready to. So we shall see what happens. But yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, those of you that tuned in to Sunday's stream, you guys know that I was mentioning doing this a lot more for you guys, especially now that I'm trading with my actual cash again. I was paper trading for the longest again. I had to take the money out of my account just because we had to use it for multiple things. I mean, those of you that have been following me for a while know that we just had a baby recently. She is now over 6 months old. It's crazy how time flies, but I really wanted to get back to doing this with cash. So for about a month or so, I was kind of paper trading, just making sure, refreshing on my ability to trade in the market and whatnot. And I decided to go ahead this last week and start trading with real cash again. So like I said, we plan on doing these videos, at least one during the week, sometime between Tuesday and Thursday, just to give an overall update, kind of where I'm at with my account. And then every Sunday, of course, we'll have the Sunday stock watch, stock talk thing, where we come in here every Sunday, probably roughly 30 minutes to an hour before the market opens up. That way I can kind of just break it down for you guys, see kind of what I see for the next week. I told you guys on Sunday that I thought the market was going to go to 3,400 at some point this week. Wasn't like some crazy call out or anything. I think the market at that time was about where it is now. Like, it was around like 33.60, 33.70, so it wasn't some huge bold call out or anything like that, but we came pretty close to it. Are we actually going to close at 3,400? I don't believe so. I don't think we're going to close the week at 3,400 by any means. It'd be awesome though, especially if I end up popping in and going long, but I don't see myself going long quite yet. I'm going to kind of just sit on my hands for now and just kind of see how it plays out over the next hour or so roughly, and then we'll probably make a decision going forward with that. Let's see, Vinco, how's it going? It always cuts off. YouTube's messed with these chat boxes. I used to be able to have it like this and see your all's entire message, but now I gotta expand it. I remember that. Yeah, Vinco, he's actually in our Discord group chat as well, and he pretty much timed the drop perfectly. If I remember right, he got in around 33.88, something like that. And I mean, he's not BSing. He profited almost 30 points off of the S&P 500 drop. And like me, he's probably like, man, saw that 33.39. Because I remember he got out like 33, what would that have been? Around 33.50 or 33.60, something like that. So like me, he's probably like, man, wish I'd held that short a little longer. But 27 points, that's a huge profit right there. Even for the micro, I mean, 5 points times, and I don't recall if they trade the micro or the E-mini, but I mean, 5 points times 27, that's still $135 in one day. And again, if you're trading the actual E-mini, I mean, that's a huge profit. $1,300 in, I think he did that in like less than 15 minutes because that was when the market was just in full-fledged, just over the cliff at that point. So, those trades are awesome, of course. That's awesome stuff. But, yeah, cool stuff for him. 3361. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah. So, yeah, that's awesome stuff. Like I said, props to those of you that make money shorting. For some reason, it's not my forte. I don't know what it is. Maybe someday I'll kind of expand my horizon into shorting too and be able to truthfully start making money both ways. But as for now, I'll just kind of be okay. Maybe whenever I don't have a job anymore and I got my own business up and running here in the next year and I got more time to do this, I'll start learning more about shorting and whatnot. Because I mean, there's money to be made on both sides, bears, bulls. As long as you can time it right, there's definitely money to be made on both sides. But I feel like you just have to have the timing more right whenever you're on the bear side than the bullish. And I think you'd even agree with that. Like you have to know when it's time to go, essentially. Whenever it's time to go short. Where with going long, I mean, I don't have to be right out of the gate. I can wait. I know in a few days it's going to come back up more times than not. It's just more so stress for me than anything. I don't want to have to stress out too much about my trades. It's like I said, it's all psychology. I keep stressing this to anybody that's starting out new in trading. Literally, trading is probably 10-20% head knowledge, at least 70-80% psychology. Like if you can get your psychology down when it comes to trading, get to the point where you're literally just seeing it as numbers and not even as like your real money, get to that point where you're in the same mindset that you are paper trading as you would be with your real money, that is when you will really start to see your account really start to grow, because you're just looking at it as numbers. You're just looking at each candle for what it is, and you just make better trades. I mean, it's just a simple fact. So, but hopefully you guys have been enjoying the stream. If you have, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate that. And even if you haven't, feel free to hit thumbs down. Either way, it's all about the engagement. I just want to kind of know what you guys like about the streams, videos, all that stuff, and all that good stuff. And like I said, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here. And I keep hitting on it, but that Discord group chat is down in the description box. We'd love to have you in there chatting it up with us. Right now, we're just taking a look at that Micro E-mini S&P 500. They're really trying to keep it from dropping much. We're down just a couple points right now. The market is down just a couple points right now. Again, I want to see it come down to right around that. Actually, now that I'm looking at it from a shorter time frame, I mean, the overall support's going to be right around that 33.50 to 55 area. But when I look at it from these smaller time frames, yeah, I want to see it bounce. I want to see it hold right around this 33.64, 65 area. It might be why it's holding on to 33.66 pretty hard, because you can see that there's a little bit of a resistance whenever we were trying to come up that first time, and then we got up above it. Then we hit that 33.70, 75 area, another area of resistance to watch. You can see it acted as a support once, right around that 33.65. So yeah, I would like to see this come down to 33.65 if it can, and it looks like we're going to bounce again. I will probably hop in at that point, and I'll probably look for 8 to 10 points on that trade. Actually, you know what? If I can get 8 points out of that trade, if hypothetically it happens, again, it has to play out the way that I'm expecting it to. Yeah, if I can get 8 points out of that trade, I'll be happy, because we're going to hit a lot of resistance between that 70 to 75 area. So if I get in, hypothetically, if we get a confirmation, I would probably get in around where it's at right now, 33.66 roughly. Yeah, I would say 8 points would probably be my target on that. If I can get more than that, cool. But we're definitely going to hit some resistance just after 33.70 to 75, somewhere in that area. I'll have to pull up like the actual. If you have the investing.com app, that's a great app for like looking at different levels of resistance, supports, pivot points, all that stuff. I definitely suggest you guys check out the investing.com app too. It's super easy to use, and it's awesome sometimes when it comes to making your target entry and exit points, because it'll show you like, hey, this is where you're going to hit some resistance, support, all that good stuff, and it's usually not too far off, in all honesty. So definitely check that out. But depending on what that shows, yeah, I'm looking for probably 8 points on that trade. But after that, when we get up to 33.78 to 33.80, that again is going to be like hitting a brick wall. We'll probably get rejected at that point. At that point, the market would be up about 9 points. So yeah, I see a rejection there, in all honesty. If the bear thesis can continue and we continue to roll over, I think that would be our next rejection, would be that 33.75, 33.80 area. So we shall see how it plays out. Cheers. Yeah, I know you're celebrating today. Man, if I had a 27-point profit, I'd be celebrating tonight too. But yeah, I'm not looking for anything crazy for tomorrow overall. Honestly, I think whatever way we go, it's going to be probably within a 10-point range roughly. But as for my trade overall, I'm looking for something around 5 to 10 points. That's usually, you guys can see the proof's in the pudding. I'm just about consistently profiting right now. As long as I can get 4, 5, 8, 10 points here and there, it just all starts to stack up over time. Just keep compounding. Before I know it, I'll be trading 2 contracts. And looking forward to that, I should add, I'm not going to literally, like when I buy, just say, boom, buy 2 contracts. No, because what happens? Every time I get in personally, I get in too early usually. So I'll get in with 1 contract, assuming that it comes down a little bit more. I'll get in with my other contract. All about that dollar cost average, of course, and then when it comes up, I'll just make even more money as it goes up. So that's just kind of looking forward to that. But yeah, so here we are breaking down a little bit here. See what happens while you guys are still tuning in. Might even make a trade while you guys are here. Hopefully the stream is doing okay. We got 5 of you now tuning in. It's awesome to see a few of you here. So let's just watch it and see what happens. Pull up that 15-minute chart again. So like I said, I would have liked to see it bounce somewhere between this 33.65 to 33.61 range. But assuming that it doesn't, I want to definitely see it bounce somewhere between that 33.50 to 33.55. So there's kind of 2 levels I'm looking at right now. Right now where we're at, which is at 33.60 to 33.65 area. And then if it goes below that 33.60 level, then our next level we're looking at is right around the 33.55 to 33.50 range. And if that can hold and we can get some sort of bounce, then I'll probably hop in. If we get down to 33.50, 33.55, my target profit is going to change a little bit. Because if I can get in this for, say it bounces at 33.50 again, and I get in at around the 33.55, 56 level, my target sell will still be around 33.70. So that'd be a 14-point profit target. Does that mean I'm going to like hold out and try to hold it until it hits that? No, if we find some sort of resistance around that 33.65 area, then by all means I'll go ahead and sell it. But again, these are all just a bunch of hypotheticals. Who knows where the market's really going to go at the end of the day. These are just kind of like assumptions, so to speak, that I'm talking about. So let's pull up how is Okay, so the Nikkei, however you want to pronounce it, is down about 0.3% right now. Let's see, let's pull up the 15-minute on that one. So it actually didn't start out too bad, but then it started coming down, which explains why we have been falling recently. So we will see what happens. We are oversold now on the 1 minute, so I wouldn't be surprised if they pull it back up to around 33.65. I'm going to assume it's going to get rejected around 33.65 to 33.66. Probably continue to roll down at that point. We might actually end up testing that 33.55 sometime tonight for sure. Let's see here. 15. Yeah, especially since our 15-minute chart is indicating that we've got our cross and we should continue to sell for probably the next hour roughly. Maybe even more, who knows? This is just assumptions here. Yeah, I think at this rate we are probably on our way to 33.65. So again, you're probably wondering, Griffin, why don't you short? You literally are calling this out, but you don't short. Again, because the moment I get in, it'll reverse. We'll have a V formation. It's just how it works. Again, stay in your lane, as I always say. I'll just buy here in a little bit, probably sometime this evening, and then we'll let everything kind of play out tomorrow and maybe even Monday. And we'll see what happens overall. So, what's my prediction for tomorrow, if you're wondering? We're just going to look at it big picture. Not even the 20-day. Let's go with the 180-day. Taking a look at everything big picture. You can see last time we had something similar to this. Boom, we came down, continued to go up long term. Obviously, back around December, January, we were kind of choppy. We're going to not even look at that too much. But again, when we had this type of formation where we were just kind of running out of steam, boom, we came up, boom, boom, and then we finally found some support around 3,200, and then we continue to go up. What are we doing right here? It's almost identical to this. We can see we had boom, but almost not a head and shoulders, but it's making me wonder now. Is it a head and shoulder pattern? No, not really. But similar aspect. Every pullback, I don't call them sell-offs. I mean, that's dramatic. Even though we are pulling back, I call them pullbacks. Sell-off. Sell-off makes it sound like, oh my God, going into a bear market. No, it's just a pullback. Every pullback almost looks identical. You see, running out of steam. Because look, right here, ran out of steam, test, ran out of steam, test, boom, got rejected. And then you kind of do some choppy stuff for a little bit. Bears try to take control. Bulls try to get it. Bears think they have it. And then bulls say no. Nice try. Again, for 10 years in a row. We'll continue to go higher. You get a bull flag. Continue to go a little bit higher. And then again, we're at this level where we're kind of running out of steam. What do I think is going to happen next? A retrace down to probably somewhere around that 33.20, 33.40 level. Nothing crazy. We're talking another 20 points roughly down at the most, maybe 50 if the bears hold on to it for a little bit. But I think absolute max pain for this pullback is around 3,300 unless coronavirus and whatnot just goes batshit crazy. The irony of saying batshit crazy when it started with bat soup. But no pun intended. But yeah, I'm not too worried overall about the market. Pullbacks are a part of this market, and honestly, when it comes, we're in more of what they would refer to, what I've been reading about lately, what's referred to more as like a secular bull market. And when you look up traditional like secular bull markets, they tend to last for like 15 years. So I mean, we're in about year 10 going on year 11 roughly of this bull market. I mean, as long as it remains a secular bull market where we continue to have these transitions, I mean, I think we're going to continue to go up for probably a few more years. Originally, when I very first started trading about 2.5 years ago now, I was the one almost always trying to call, okay, we could be going into a bear market, and it's just one of those things where if you feed into it enough, yeah, eventually you're going to be right, But why? I don't know. It's a lot of wasted energy trying to find out when the bear market's going to be. Technically, we had a bear market just over a year ago. We were down 22% on the S&P 500, so that's technically a bear market. But as for this bull market, I don't think it's going to end at least until the end of the next election cycle, which would be, 2024, roughly, is when I would expect the all-out big one, as they like to say. Could I be wrong? Could it happen this year or next year? Sure, but when you look at, again, just look up secular bull markets and look at how long they last. Some of them last even 18, 20 years. So I mean, we're talking about roughly 4 to 8 more years of a bull market, and I think 8 years would be pushing it, but I definitely see at least another 2 to 4 years. I think overall the S&P 500 will hit 3,500 plus before, and that's probably being generous. If it goes on 4 more years, I think we're going to hit at least 3,500 plus on the S&P 500 before it ultimately gets cut down 30-50% when you have the big one happen. At that point, you're back down to what? Probably 2,000, 2,200, something like that. We could do what ifs all day. That's just kind of my 2 cents. So we're continuing to sell. If you're wondering kind of what I'm looking for, again, I like to see my MACD on the 15-minute chart at least at a -5 roughly, if possible. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes you get just a quick little pullback and then it continues to go higher. If that happens, then adjust on the fly, take a look at the RSI and everything else. But as for me, general rule of thumb is I want to see this down to around a -4, -5. And then I would love to see the RSI just at least give us a sign of oversold. And then, again, we'll get some sign of confirmation that, okay, this is the bottom, at least for now. And then I'll go ahead and hop in. You guys know another thing I like to see happen a lot of times too is the 1 hour chart show signs of oversold, specifically on the RSI. The MACD is looking pretty good. Again, -5 tends to be pretty good. It's at -4.6. Never just go based off of indicators or one indicator. That's why I got a DMI, RSI, MACD. I got all different kinds of indicators and whatnot pulled up. Never just rely solely on indicators or one indicator or anything like that. But this is just kind of my rule of thumb for deciding when's a good time to get in. I will say this, since the market seems to be running out of steam currently, yesterday and it went through today, I submitted an order within my retirement accounts to go to 60% cash, 60% cash, 30% U.S. equities, 5% bond, 5% overseas, because I expect the overall market and probably the world market overall to kind of pull back a little bit. Like I said, 3,300 roughly is kind of what I'm looking at personally. Assuming we come down to that, I'll probably go ahead and put my risk back on and put it up to only like 5% cash in that market. I never go all cash just because what if you're wrong? Then you miss out on all that money that you could have made if you just held it out. It's not to say to be reckless and keep all your money in stocks and in equities and all that stuff, but I never suggest going like 100% cash. Cash is trash. At the end of the day, cash is trash until it is used. So, something to keep in mind. But again, I'm not like don't take my advice as something you should do. This is just for me and myself. I'm just here for your, hopefully, education and a little bit of entertainment along the way. How's it going there, Tyler? Just talking up some S&P 500 talk. And let me check on our stream also, by the way. We got 3 of you still tuning in. We've dropped off a few of you here and there. But, man, I hate how YouTube keeps doing this. I have to, pull it all over now. Okay, what's happening? Oh, not much, man. Just getting back to trading these futures and whatnot the last week. I put $800, just a little bit of money, into the account. Gonna start building that back up because I was doing real well. My first month trading the micros, I made just over $200. I think it was like $202, something like that. And so far, first week, I made 121, technically 135 after fees and commissions, $121.34. So not a bad first week, I would say. If I can do that every week, I mean, I'll be in a happy place overall with my account long term. But right now, what I'm kind of looking for is I want to see this market pull back. Let's see. Seem to be trying to find a little bit of support right around this 33.61 level. Assuming that it breaks, I want to see it come down to that 33.55, maybe even retouch that 33.50 area. Bottom line is, once it finds some support, I will go ahead and hop in. I'm looking for roughly 8 to 10 points on my trade, just because this market is really volatile at the moment, which tends to also be a sign that we're probably due for a pullback, which again, like we were talking about a few minutes ago, when you just look at every pullback that happens, it's almost screaming that it's about to pull back. You can see, even way back here, you can see we got rejected a few times, boom, down. Ran out of room, got rejected a few times, boom, down. Go up, 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 up. Ran out of breath, boom, fell down. Kind of chop, chop, chop for a little bit. And even, I mean, let's just look at the most recent ones. Again, you come up, run out of steam, boom. Come up, up, up. We get rejected. 1, 2, 3, boom, flush. And then you have some chop. And then you go up, run out of steam, boom. And now that seems to be kind of what we're doing right now. You can see we've got rejected, boom, boom, boom. That's 3 times. Third time, you might even say 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we keep barely squeezing out new all-time highs the last couple weeks, but I mean, you can tell. I mean, we've got rejected now. One, if you want to even count this one, let's not even count that one, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Surely you're going to expect some little bit of a rollover. So, nothing crazy. Just a little pullback coming. Yeah, I mean, honestly, tomorrow's kind of a coin flip, honestly. I mean, I think it probably will go down tomorrow overall. I notice it seems like Fridays just don't seem to be good days a lot of times for the market for some reason, but I do expect it to probably go down tomorrow. But then again, at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we wake up to being up 6 or 7 points. But what I'm doing essentially is I'm looking for a trade, a nice little setup where, yes, we've got a nice little support figured out. We've got some, what's the word I'm looking for? I just had a total brain fart. We've got some confirmation. There we go. We got some confirmation that we're going to continue to go up. And at that point, I'll go ahead and hop in. And again, I'm not looking for like crazy profits or anything. I'm just looking for those consistent 5, 10, 15 point profits, which doesn't sound like a lot. But again, you keep that shit big picture. I mean, you get 5 points on the S&P 500 E-mini, which is $50 per contract. That's $250. You get a 15 point profit. That's what, like, that's the micro. $750 is what it would be on the E-mini. So it's just all about keeping that in perspective at the end of the day, that as long as I continue to do 5, 10, 15 point profits, hell, even 3 or 4 point profits, those add up. 3 points on the E-mini, that's $150. On the micro, of course, it's only going to be about 12 after your fees and commissions, but it's just all about keeping a big picture at the end of the day. Let's see. Let's see. Wouldn't it go up now since we're at the bottom? Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, wait, what do you mean by fourth dip? Let's see, this would be 1, 2, okay, so this would be your fourth. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, we could. Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me one way or another. I'll say the one thing that makes me weary is the fact, just the screaming number right here, 33.39.50. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be the same as when we dropped down to 33.48. right around Valentine's Day a couple weeks ago, or was that about a week ago? But I mean, when I seen that, that kind of made me wonder. I was like, what the hell? I thought we were going to continue to sell off, honestly. But we ended up finding some support around that 33.50. I mean, yeah, like let's say we start to build a support right now, right around this 33.60 to 62 level, which it seems like it's really trying to. Seems like it's really trying to build one right around that 33.60 level. So say like right now we start to get some confirmation that it's going to start going up. Then I wouldn't mind hopping in. If it starts to go up right here, I'd probably get in somewhere probably around 33.64. The target profit probably 33.72 roughly. So again, that'd be like an 8-point profit if it played out. But right now I'm not really making any moves just because it's still it's going back and forth right now on what it wants to do. So we'll kind of see what happens. Let's see. Oh no, and trust me, I was just talking about that. That's exactly why I never short actually, because I was just discussing the fact that I mean, if you just look at the market over not even just last 10 years, last 100 years, I mean, the market continues to go up long term. It's just all about finding good dips to buy, even if it takes it 1, 2, 3, 4 days to play out. As long as you go long, you're almost always gonna make money. Like that's just until the market literally breaks down, goes. That's what I was just explaining to my fiance a little bit ago. I was like, if I start to lose money by going long, that means everybody's losing money, and we're starting to break down here. So like I said, it looks like 55 maybe in store by the time we end up getting in. But they do not want to let it fall, that's for sure. But no, I mean, you're definitely right. I mean, that's why I never short. I mean, I called it out before the market opened up. I said, honestly, I think we're going to pull back. We might even retest 50 to 55 before going up. Sure enough, it did, and I was even kind of laughing at myself. Like, I was like, a lot of you that'll be watching this are probably wondering, well, why didn't you short? Like, you called it out. You could have easily made what? Say I got in on right here when it started going down. I would have been up 7 points just a second ago. Just like that, just in, the first half hour of trading. So, it's not my game. It's like I said, it's all about staying in your lane, staying true to what you know best. Let's see here. Your only positions are yeah, pretty much. I mean, you can take a look. My very first position was a short, and I lost 2 points because that was my deal with that trade. I said if I go down 2 points, I'm just gonna cut it loose. Funny thing is about an hour or two later, or not an hour or two. It was what day was that? Yeah, it was last Thursday when I first started trading. When the market opened back up, the trade would have ended up profiting roughly like 5 points or something if I'd held. But yeah, I mean, it's just, again, a lot of it's the trading psychology. My psychology is a lot better when it comes to going long, whereas when I go short, I feel the sense of urgency, the sense of I need to be right sooner rather than later, because like we know, the market is quick to just go V on us. We go from continuing to go down just to just shooting straight up like nothing in the blink of an eye. So there's just something about knowing that just really, I know the market's going to go up long term. I don't know that the market's going to go down long term, if that makes sense. So it's more so a psychological thing than anything. I just want history to be, I'll go with the side of history, which is that the market will continue to go up over a long period of time. So that's why I do nothing but long pretty much 95% of the time. Plus, I don't have time to just be sitting here. Literally, this is the longest that I get to just sit here at my laptop. I hate trading on my phone so much because you just, for some reason, you don't see everything as good on this little, was it like a 4-inch, 6-inch screen as I do this 20-inch screen, laptop screen that I have right here in front of me right now. And I don't have time when I'm at work to be sitting there babying my position Whereas when I go long, I can just kind of set it, not forget about it, but you know what I mean, like kind of just check in on it here and there. I won't get discouraged. I was actually down like 20 points last week at one point on a long because I got in as I thought I had some confirmation, and then it got smacked down. We can actually take a look at that position, just so you guys can learn from my experience. What trade was this? This was this the 10:30 a.m.? Yeah, I think this was the trade. So it was the 14th at 10:20 a.m. So let's take a look here. Okay, so let's pull this up here. Let's see, I saw that you said something, Tyler. Am I in a position right now? No, I don't yet. I am looking to open a long tonight, though. Hopefully, is the mission. But going back to that trade, that was the 14th at 10:20 a.m. So if we just pull it up, big picture here. Old co-workers calling me. I don't got time for that. So 2:14 at 10:20 a.m. So, yeah, and I got in literally at the worst time possible. Let's just zoom in on it. So I got in at 10:20 a.m. So as you can see, it has started going up, and I was like, okay, when we get our next pullback, I'm going to get in. And again, I'm trading from my phone doing this. Didn't have a good look at my MACD, anything like that at the time. This is the 5-minute chart too, which for the most part I don't use. I use more of the 15-minute, 1 hour, that kind of thing. But I got in literally at the worst time possible. I got in right as it was starting to have that last flush of the day. Hindsight's 2020. So it just continued to go downward from there. Like I said, I mean, we got in at what price? 33.79.25. And it came all the way down at one point to 33.65. So no, we were actually down 24 points at one point on that trade. So that was what, $121.25 roughly. That position was down. But again, I didn't get discouraged. Why? Because I wasn't looking at the damn thing. I went long. I made my decision. I just let it ride out. I checked on it a few times, and the furthest I seen it down was when it was at like 70. And I was kind of down on myself about it. I was like, dude, what the hell? That was stupid. Or no, that wasn't 20 points. I'm high as a kite. That's 13 points. So that's, right? Am I losing my mind? Yeah, it's 14 points. So no, that's $70 roughly down. It was around like $70, $75, something like that. I was like, I wasn't down that much, or I would have been going crazy. But, no, it was down like $70, which when you're down 14, 15 points, that's quite a bit of points to be down on a position. But I just held it out because I knew long term what ended up happening. Boom, we continue to go up. Now what I can do a better job is one, trying to get better positioning when I do get in, which is what I'm trying to do now with this trade I'm doing, and also not being so quick to jump ship, because as you can see, I ended up selling that thing at 33.86. What did I do? Okay, 33.86, and I did that at what time? It was like right after the market opened. I sold it like 33.86 something. It was somewhere in this huge green bar that we had. If I just held it like one more minute, I was going to profit like 2 points. But of course, if I continued to held, I mean, if, right? There's nothing wrong. I don't want to go too far into that because I don't want you guys to think that's a good idea to hold on to position just because, oh, what if I could profit more? I'm all about taking profit off the table. All the indicators were flashing. It's time to go ahead and sell. Super overbought. It did end up pulling back. And if I recall, I did end up buying in again at some point, like that next day or something like that. Let's see, 550, or no, I waited until the next evening to get back in. But either way, I mean, there's buying opportunities all the time. You just got to look for them. I don't want to say to hold on to a position. As long as you're up, there's never nothing wrong with taking money off the table at the end of the day. But yeah, so that's kind of the whole learning dealio with that. So let's take a look here. But yeah, right now I'm not in anything. I'm kind of just sitting on my hands, just waiting for a good opportunity right now. I'm not buying this green candle right here. I'm just not buying it. Our RSI is at 41, which is decent. I think they'll probably try to pull it up and have it retest 33.65, 33.66 again. I don't think it's going to hold. I think we're going to go ahead and keep filling down to 33.55. The fact that we already broke those two supports makes me think we're definitely heading towards 33.55. But I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, like I said, I'll go ahead and hop in, write it out, and see what happens. But as of now, my target is somewhere between that 33.50, 33.55. At that point, the target sell would probably be somewhere around 33.65, because between that 60-65 is where we're going to find a lot of resistance, since it's acting as a pretty good support right now. So it looks like we just had one of you join our Discord group chat. Welcome to you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I plan on doing these videos. I plan on doing the Sunday stock talk, where we come back every Sunday about 30 minutes to an hour before the market goes up, just to kind of take a look at the market, what we're kind of looking at for the week, and possible trades as the market opens up on Sunday evenings. And that'll be, of course, like I said, right around an hour, 30 minutes to an hour before the market opens, and that'll take us clear on past when the market does open. And then at least once in the middle of the week between Tuesday and Thursday. I'm shooting for Wednesday, but Thursday at the latest, like today, I'll come back and do kind of like a midweek recap, kind of see what the market's looking like compared to what we thought it was going to do, and of course give an update just overall on how like my profits are doing, what positions I took, what I learned from them, just giving you guys just an overall kind of like what goes through my mind whenever I make these trades. And again, the biggest thing is just learning from them, even on positions you profit from. I usually kick myself more times than not on positions I profit from, because I'm like, dude, if you just gotten your position time better, or if you had gotten out at a better time, you could have doubled your profit, tripled it, so on, so on. There's always something to learn from a trade, even the ones you profit from. So that's why I do this for you guys. So let's see what you say here. Do you play video games? No, I do not, just because I simply do not have the time anymore with a baby. I do have an Xbox. All I have is Madden 20, because I'm from the Missouri area. So of course I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Finally got our Super Bowl, one of hopefully many to come in the next decade. But no, I don't got time. I used to a few years ago. Ever since we've had our kid, I barely got enough time to even trade in the stock market and do these videos, let alone do any type of gaming anymore. But yeah, let's see what you say. Oh, you live in Kansas City, Kansas? Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I grew up in Columbia, Missouri, which is roughly, it's like an hour and a half, roughly, from it's actually only about an hour or so from the actual stadium, Arrowhead Stadium. But yeah, I lived just about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours from Kansas City. Now, of course, I live in Dallas, Texas. So, of course, I got to deal with a bunch of ridiculous Cowboy fans that think they're going to win the Super Bowl every year. I mean, that wasn't a joke either. Like, they literally think they could have the worst year ever. They just went 8-8 this year, and they think they're going to the Super Bowl again next year. A lot of them do. It's craziest, most delusional fan base I've ever seen. But that's a topic for another day. But yeah, like I said, if you guys are new, we'd love to have you here. What just happened? So we're coming down. Well, I was about to wrap this video up, but apparently not, because we got some action going on. So we'll see what happens here. Wonder if... Oh, man. I thought it was actually going to give us a big red candle for once. Still a nice little drop, but we will see what happens here. Imagine if I was somebody that shorted. I'd be up pretty good right now. I'd be up about 10 points. Get a look here. 5-minute chart is about to go. 15-minute chart, not quite. We got some room to. I think, man, since we went below 33.55, I think 33.50 is all but baked in at this point. What's the Nikkei looking like? It's down 110 points also, about 0.5%. Dow is down almost 100. NASDAQ is down 46.5. Yeah, I think we're pretty much heading towards 33.50 now. It's trying to 33.55 is trying to act as a support for sure, but the fact that we came down to 33.53.25, I think 33.50 is all but baked in at this point. But we'll see what happens overall. How's it going, Rand Wolf? Like your future analysis? Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to trade, how to trade, anything like that. I just honestly, the whole point of me doing this and us having that Discord group chat is for us to be able to bounce ideas off one another. I was telling those of you that were shorting earlier, I was like, it's not my game personally, but I would love to learn the ins and outs of shorting the market and whatnot, because I'm just not gonna lie, it's not my thing. I'm not good at it. Hopefully someday I will be able to develop that, but my thing mostly is just going long, buying dips and whatnot. But our whole point of doing all this here is just to bounce ideas off one another, because what everybody looks at the market and looks at everything differently. When you get, in our case, in our group, which is totally free, like I said, don't charge for anything associated with this channel, never will. But our group of 130 people, when you get 260 eyes looking at something, I mean, you can get a lot of different points of view, and it allows you to just grow and develop as a trader and overall with your journey towards financial freedom. But I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And if you all don't know what Discord is, by the way, I know I've mentioned it a couple times. It's a free app you can get for your smartphone. You can also get it on your laptop. And I would download it first, then click the link in the description, because it'll take you right to the group then. No problem. And it shouldn't give you any BS about joining. It should just be simple as I think it asks for your phone number when you sign up, but it's not I'm not keeping this for Discord itself. You have to have a phone number to sign up for Discord, if I remember right. But yeah, so that's interesting that we finally got our drop. 33.55 is definitely seeming to act as a pretty solid support right now. Again, I don't think it's going to hold. I think 33.50 is all but baked in at this point. I'm just primarily keeping an eye on that 15-minute chart. A 1-hour chart, of course, is starting to dip. It's now to minus 6.1 on the MACD. I didn't pay attention to that on the 15. It's down to minus 4.5 now. So definitely getting close to a buying zone for me. I am going to be careful, though, because if it breaks 33.50, we have a long way to go. So I'll keep an eye out, kind of see what happens. Other than that, that is pretty much it for the stream. Hopefully the stream quality and whatnot has been all right. I didn't check it as much as I usually do. It shows it's all green still. So hopefully it kept up and everything was all good and whatnot. If you like the stream, definitely make sure to smash the thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate that. And like I said, if you're new or anything, feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. We go live at the minimum twice a week. I'm going to try to start working in a third time in the coming weeks, but we go live every Sunday, about 30 minutes to an hour before the market opens, and sometime between Tuesday and Thursday right now for a midweek update and just an overall look at the market and kind of how my trades are doing. And we go over where I went wrong, what could have been better, what trades profited, all that good stuff. Just a quick recap. Been back at it for about a week. First trade was red, a short. Again, well, I never short. I'm just not good at it. Everything else, positive trades, all longs, average profit somewhere around I would say 7 points per trade roughly. So just slowly but surely keeping it up. We started with $800 in the account. We're up $121. And if you don't know, I'm literally just trading one micro E-mini future contract at a time. Just going to slowly build that up. We're going to invest a little bit of money here and there every month. Just keep growing the account. The goal is to eventually hop on over to the ES, and then that's where we plan to make a lot more money. Right now, it's just about keeping it big picture. If I'm up $121 on the micro, that would have been equivalent to $1,210 on the ES. So it's just all about keeping it in, thinking in terms of big picture, of course. Let's see, get this out of the way. How's it going, Aaron? Mainly futures. Yeah, that's pretty much all I trade anymore. I did options for the longest, specifically on SPY. Occasionally I'll do an option call here and there on like just a random stock that I think is just heavily undervalued, things like that. But as you can see, I mean, all my trades from this last week are just nothing but MES. That's pretty much all I trade anymore. And that's pretty much what a lot of these videos are about. These video streams, that kind of thing. Our Sunday stock talk that we do every Sunday right around market open, around 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. That's pretty heavy on futures as well. I'll take a look at the broader market. I mean, if anybody in the chat asks me about a specific stock or anything, I'll take a look, give my opinion, but I never do it as like financial advice, of course. We're just here to bounce ideas off one another at the end of the day. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I don't know if you're new. I don't recall seeing your name, Aaron. If you're new, we'd love to have you here, though. Definitely clicking that subscribe button. And we'd love to have you in our Discord group chat, too, which, again, totally free. Never charge for anything over here. So we're trying to bounce. Don't think it's going to last. 5-minute candle is neutral. 15. Still on the same candle here. It might, 55 might hold, but the fact that we came below it, I don't know. I got a feeling we're going to keep going down. But like I said, if I'm wrong, I'll probably get in around 33.60. My target sell would be 33.70, roughly. Hopefully I can get a little 10-point profit out of that. Who knows? I might even decide to hold depending on what kind of bounce we get, reversal or whatever. Joining the group now. Awesome stuff. So yeah, that'll be 2 or 3 of you that have joined already in the last hour. So that's awesome. That means we're over 130 members now in that group. Yeah, I think it might have showed that you just joined. It's slow sometimes about letting me know when people join and whatnot. But yeah, it's just awesome to see that community continue to grow. How's it going there, Trade Doc? Big dip? Yeah, it was a big dip today. Looks like we're continuing that a little bit. Things are looking grim. Yeah, I mean, I love it, though. It's a great buying opportunity. Like I said, I think the max pain overall is about 33.20, maybe 3,300 if the Bears can really take control of it. But, yeah, I mean, going back to that big picture before we end the stream, we see this happen with every pullback, right? I mean, we squeeze out a new all-time high, we run out of steam, we get rejected a few times, boom, we have a pullback. Keep going, get rejected a couple times, boom, good size pullback. We just see this time and time again. My favorite one to go to is this one right here. I mean, it's just green, and then boom, just stalled out, rejected multiple times, and then a big flush. So, even our SMA here, was this the 300, if I recall? Maybe the 200 that I have set up? 200 is what I got for my SMA. So, our 200 SMAs even at 33.10, and it's going to continue to pull up a little bit. So, I think max pains overall is going to be somewhere on that 3,300 to 3,320 before we bounce back up. By September, October, calendars. Yeah, right now, I don't know if you're talking about options or the futures, but yeah, I mean, for now, I'm still playing the March. I was just thinking to myself the other day about when I'm going to go ahead and start rolling on into, what is that, is it June? March, April, May, yeah. It'd be June, I think, right? June, because then July, August, yeah. So June. I was thinking about rolling into the June contracts probably starting next week, personally. I always just like to get ahead on getting on the next set of future contracts. I know pretty much within, what is it, a lot of them do it like the last week or the last few days, something like that anyway. It's like they force you to go into the next contracts. But me personally, I just like to stay ahead because I like to have time on my side. I don't want to get down to that last week, 1 week, week and a half. And it'll expire on March the 3rd, which is coming up a week from next Tuesday. So yeah, probably by early next week, I'll definitely be heading on into the March contracts at the earliest. But so yeah, right now we're just hanging out, just looking to get another good position here. 33.55's holding up pretty well. We're testing it though quite a bit, and usually whenever we tend to test something enough, all of a sudden it'll flush. So if we break it, I think the next stop's definitely going to be right around that 33.50, maybe 33.45 area. And then it's make or break time from there. If we break that, I think it's just another 5-10 points at a time from there. So we'll see. Definitely wish I was on both sides, shorted and went long, but I'm just looking for a buying opportunity at this point, and it should be coming this way tonight. So I want to thank you all again for tuning in. I don't even know how many of you all we got in here right now. We got like 5 of you, looks like, tuning in right now, so that's awesome. I want to thank all of you that tuned in today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, definitely make sure to smash that thumbs up button. I always appreciate that, of course. And even if you didn't, hit the thumbs down. It's just all about that engagement. And like I said one last time, if you're not already in our Discord group chat, I am super active in there. Probably too active in all honesty, especially for having a full-time job. But if you want to like connect with me or join another group of like-minded people that you want to bounce ideas off of, that is definitely the group for you. Definitely feel free to check it out. It's in the description box below. Again, it's totally free. Don't charge for anything associated with this channel. But other than that, like I said, we're just hanging out for now. My target entry is wherever the bottom is. If we end up hitting 33.50, which is looking likely, then I'd probably get back in around 33.55. Target sell would be somewhere around 33.70. But who knows? We'll see what happens. 33.55 is holding pretty well, so that might be the bottom. But who knows? Like I said, we'll see what happens here over the next few hours, and I will definitely keep you guys updated in the Discord group chat. Take it easy, Tyler. But until next time, guys, as always, just keep on going out there, making your profits, covering your profits. Can't stress that enough, and achieving your financial freedom this year. And I will see you guys probably Sunday evening. Like I said, about an hour. Go ahead and set that little bell icon, that way you'll be notified. But we will be back Sunday, roughly 30 minutes to an hour before the market opens back up. But until then, take it easy, guys.